Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to journaling video number 3. I'm beginning this video with a spread for my reading journal. I very suddenly read season 2 of Count Tachibana. I think in the end of my last video, I was talking about how season 2 was finished and that I wanted to read it, and I kind of suddenly had the thought of like, I don't know how long the story will be free. What if Lezhin suddenly makes it not free? So I decided to read it ASAP instead of waiting and like rereading season 1 first and then reading it. As I said in my last video, I've already read season 1 twice, so I think I kind of had enough memories of season 1 in order to read season 2 without a lot of trouble. Count Tachibana definitely has a complex plot, so I personally wouldn't pause while reading it because you'll probably end up confused. It's hard for me to even begin to explain the plot, but I'll try my best. So the story takes place during the Japanese occupation of Korea. I'm a big fan of historical fiction that's set kind of like between like 1900, maybe 1910 to like 1950. I just feel like there are so many stories missing from that time period, even if they're completely fictional like this one. But anyway, the story starts out when the main character is a little boy. I think he's maybe around like 11 or 12. He lives a fairly normal life, but in his town on kind of like the top of this hill, there is a very grand manor that has been built, and they say a Count Tachibana lives there. The main character's father is like kind of greedy. He's very eager to make money, and one day he is approached with the idea of letting his son, our main character, go up to Count Tachibana's mansion and befriend the young boy who lives there. His dad is hoping that he'll be able to ask, like for audience basically with the Count. But when the main character goes to this mansion, the Count is never around. Honestly, the whole entire thing is very sketchy. The boy who lives there, Sho, he is saying some really interesting things, like he's never been outside before, he's never seen the ocean before. The main character realizes something is wrong here, and he tells Sho, like, we got to get you out of here. I promise I'll take you to go see the ocean. And that's kind of how the story begins. After that, we follow the main character as he's growing up. It kind of like shifts forward in time to when he's a teenager. His father is now rich, so he goes off to this kind of fancy school. He makes some new friends, but also at the same time, he still is thinking about Sho, of course. And then one day he is approached by a stranger, and this stranger basically needs his help, but in return, the main character would kind of figure out what's going on in Count Tachibana's manor. And that's kind of the most I can say without spoiling every part of the plot. It's so interesting. I feel like, again, it's kind of convoluted. You gotta just kind of stick with it. But in the end, I think it's a really beautiful story about fate. There was kind of the message of like, you can't actually know life's outcomes, so all you can do is your best. I haven't read the author's note yet. I'm really hoping that Lezhin translated it actually. I feel like there's been a trend recently where they will not translate the author's messages, which is really annoying. And also kind of disrespectful, if you ask me. I feel like their words should be able to be heard by, audiences all around the world. And also, there's always usually bonus content in the author's note. But anyway, this story is so unique. The art is like nothing I've ever seen before in my entire life. It is so beautiful. Not only is it a really interesting art style, but just all of the colors used in it. It was truly drawn so beautifully. I remember even when I first started reading the story, however long ago that was, I was like, this is something different. This is something special. Actually, my first ever profile picture for my YouTube channel was the main character, Younghyun. I would categorize this as like historical fiction as well as I guess kind of like supernatural maybe. I highly recommend Count Tachibana because I feel like even if someone ends up not liking the plot, there is just something so unique and special about this story that I don't see how anyone could ever forget it. The art alone makes me feel like this is a modern masterpiece. Also, this spread is finished, but I did want to quickly say that even though this is technically a BL story, the main focus of it is all of the mysteries, not so much the love. I really enjoyed Count Tachibana, and I'm very sad that it's over. So now I'm going to be making an assortment of Halloween spreads for my archive journal. Some of them don't have any reason behind them. They're just kind of like scrapbook-y spreads. But I went through my seasonal Pinterest board, which is a mess. I wish you guys could see my personal Pinterest boards and all the sections and how unorganized they are. Maybe one day I'll show you that too. But I downloaded a bunch of the items I really wanted to use before Halloween is over, so that's why I decided to make just kind of some collages, I guess. The first spread though is a little showcase of the digital coloring I've been doing recently. I know these are from those trendy coloring books. In a way, it's kind of boring that everybody likes the same coloring books, or not likes, but has the same coloring books. But then as I was coloring these, I was thinking to myself like, oh, once you were done with the page, it would be kind of cool to like go look on social media to see how other people had decided to color that page. So now I'm not sure, because part of me hates when something is just like overly trendy, but then again, it does bring people together. So I don't know. Personally, I was not concerned with the trendiness of the coloring pages. I was just scrolling through Pinterest to find ones that I wanted to color. Not only that, but also I wanted them to have like a certain level of detail to them. I don't want them to have too much detail to where it's like, I don't want to finish this, but also I don't want it to be too simple where it's like, okay, this took me 2 minutes. Coloring digitally is really nice because I feel like I have a full range of access to colors. I mean, and I do because I would have an infinite amount of colors that I could choose from, as opposed to in real life when I'm coloring in my actual coloring book, I have like, I don't know, 40. My physical coloring book is the exact opposite of my digital coloring. Actually, it's messy. The colors don't go well together. I love it. I just use regular Crayola markers. What are those called? The super tips. I cannot be marketed to. I don't need the Ohuhu markers. Isn't it so interesting? I don't know if you're like me, but I used to watch a lot of like artist videos years ago, and I feel like Ohuhu has been sending those markers out for forever. And I was like, who really even is in the market for these? Like, who wants these? And now all of a sudden there's been an explosion in popularity. So maybe that PR marketing worked. But personally, I cannot be marketed to. You don't need special materials for a hobby. That's the hill I die on. I wouldn't even call coloring a hobby for me because I'm not sure how long I'm planning on doing it. My best friend said she was thinking of getting me a coloring book for Christmas. If she does, I'll definitely commit to making that one prettier than my current one. I don't think I really talked about the one I got. I know I mentioned it in my last video, but I got it from Dollar Tree, and it's kind of just like the interiors of houses. But the reason why it's not my favorite is because it's one of those where it's like, there are a lot of details to it. There are a lot of lines, and that's what I don't like. I think if you color with colored pencil, that's probably a lot more fun and also a lot easier. But for me, with like markers, like the super tips, they're not super duper precise, and I don't want to be really precise anyway. I kind of just want to go through and mindlessly color. Like I said before, I was coloring while I was watching Gravity Falls, and that was a lot of fun. I have not started season 2 of Gravity Falls still. I'm going to, I think, though, this week. I don't think I have any plans this week other than to go to the library. So I'm really going to do like a heavy media week this week. As you can see, I've started the next spread, which I made for the redecoration of my adorable home houses. I was talking about them in my last video. I have about 20 Canva pages full of screenshots from the game. Very ridiculous. I want to capture the moments, but then I don't have anything to do with the screenshots afterwards. I've actually been thinking of starting a new journal for stuff like this, but if I do that, it'll be closer to the end of the year. I don't even want to think about the end of the year, but actually I kind of have to start planning for it. Not necessarily right this second, but in a couple weeks, definitely. What else have I been up to lately? I'm currently obsessed with that Y2K scrapbook vibe. Polka dots, buttons, brown mixed with pastels, lots of layering. I feel like I'm really susceptible to journal trends. I said I can't be marketed to, and that's true, but I can definitely be influenced. I don't know what it is, but I feel like all of a sudden one day I woke up and I was like, whoa, lots of people seem to be into the same journaling style right now. But that's because we're also all on the same sides of social media, I feel like. Like, of course, my feed looks a certain way because that's probably how their feed looks too. But definitely after I'm finished with all of my Halloween, all of my journalween spreads, I'm probably going to be getting into that kind of vibe. It really does remind me of Hobby Lobby when I was a kid, like in the 2000s. I wish I had a word for it. It's kind of just like embroidery and patches, but also just kind of like that scrapbook feel. It's really interesting how trends in stationery and deco, how they work, because I mean, the trends, I don't want to say they go fast, definitely not the way like trends in fashion go fast, but you can definitely see shifts in what's popular. Actually, I was watching a video from one of my favorite Korean journalers, and she was saying how she used to kind of have the mindset of like hoarding stickers because they were so pretty, she didn't want to use them. And she was saying though that because trends shift the way that they do, sometimes she'll have stickers that she doesn't even really like anymore, that she doesn't even want to use anymore in her journal. And that definitely made me think about my own physical stationery collection. I have so much stuff that I bought, I don't know, maybe like 4 years ago at this point, probably coming up on 5 years. And I have so very little that I even enjoy anymore. It makes me so sad. I wish I wouldn't have been so like precious with the stickers. Like, I wish I hadn't been so stingy with them and just used them at the time, because now I'm like, I don't really like these. And once again, that's definitely a benefit of digital journaling, because even if there's something that I might not be into in a couple of months, like say that scrapbook-ish journaling style, it's okay because I haven't wasted any money, I haven't bought anything. I can just move on to the next style that I like, and that's okay. So I was thinking about that. But what else have I been up to? It's been very cold this like past week, maybe 2 weeks. Like I think before I was saying how I was wearing my new pajama shorts, I can't even wear them anymore because it's too cold now. I'm actually sitting under my heating pad right now, like it's chilly. A couple days ago, I went to the doctor's office with my mom and I was literally in a big sweatshirt and leggings. Like it was that cold. Also, that same day, my mom very kindly took me to Target because I wanted to take pictures of Jaehyun's album. I was kind of scared that they would sell out of them and like then I would never get to like physically hold it. Well, I'm going to buy one at some point. I just haven't bought one yet. But I wanted the experience of going into the store. You know, it's just like a different sort of feeling than pressing add to cart and then a box showing up at your door. So it was fun going to see that. My mom told me she feels like an employee was eyeing me, like that I looked like I was doing something sketchy, like I was going to steal something. I can never tell if that's true or not because my mom is always saying like someone's staring, someone's looking, because that's just like her own paranoia. Or maybe I'm on some type of list at my local Target. When I was maybe 9, I think, no, maybe like 8.5, I did steal a DVD from Target, which is kind of crazy. Like that's a big thing to steal, like $20. I wish I could tell you it was like a cute story about like, oh, I accidentally took it. No, like I knew what I was doing and I took it. If the FBI is watching this, haha, I'm joking. I don't know what the statute of limitations is for that kind of thing. Surely nobody's gonna like come be down my door and be like, hey, give me that Disney Channel Christmas episode special DVD that you stole back. That is actually kind of the funny part of the story. That's what I took. The DVD was like one of those, you know how they would have like a compilation of special episodes or whatever, like in one DVD. So it was like The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and maybe Lizzie McGuire. It was just like the Christmas special episodes of them in one DVD. I still have it. It's somewhere back with all of my other childhood DVDs. Speaking of stealing, my local Walmart, both of my local Walmarts have shut down almost all of the self-checkouts. It is so ridiculous. I don't think a store should be able to operate like that. Every time I go to Walmart now, it looks like something apocalyptic is happening because there are just like lines of people, like just gigantic lines of people because there will only be maybe like 4 cashiers open. It's so stressful. And also last time I kind of scared the cashier because I was like, please don't bag any of my things. The idea of having like 50 plastic bags that I don't know what to do with really causes me so much stress. I always wonder that about people that do grocery pickup. Does it not make your stomach turn to have 50 plastic bags in your trunk? I have such a specific collection of reusable bags, and that's why I like to bag my own things at the self-checkout, but I can't because Walmart thinks people are stealing. Also, can I hate on middle-aged people for just a second? There are so many people that have this idea of like, oh, well, I'm glad the self-checkouts are shut because that means more people have jobs. That's not true. That's literally not true. Also, the self-checkouts did not take anybody's job. So that's my I hate Walmart rant of the week, even though I'm there constantly. I feel like it seems so chic to not have to go inside of a Walmart, but unfortunately they have the lowest prices. This is irrelevant to Walmart and stealing and self-checkouts, but I have been obsessed with another YouTube playables game that I forgot to talk about. It's called Decor Life and it is so fun. Granted, it often does not load. I don't know what's up with that. I usually have to play it on Google Chrome, like it will not load on the actual YouTube app. But if I had to describe it, do you know the game Unpacking? It's just like that, except there's not really a story. So basically your character has moved into a house that needs renovations, but in order to do the renovations, you have to have like stars and little jewels. And to get those stars and jewels, you have to work on renovating other people's houses. And that's the part of the game that's like unpacking. So you get to the person's house and you remove all their furniture and their trash and stuff. And then you get to pick what new furniture and like shelves and stuff like that and floors and walls that go into there. And then once you've chosen all that, you get a bunch of cardboard boxes that you have to open. And inside of those are just random objects. And as you pull them out, you figure out where to put them. Again, like unpacking. It is so fun. I wish I'd been taking screenshots of my completed rooms. I don't know if I can go back and look at them. Maybe I'll have to see about that. It's so fun actually that I downloaded the actual app. However, the app is unplayable. The app is unusable. I'm not one of those people that hates ads because I feel like if I can get something for free and all I have to do is sit through some ads, I don't care. Or like the ones on Lezhin, like the Video Zone, which still is not back up, but like the playable ones, I cannot tell you how many times I've thought about actually downloading Township or what's that other one? Royal Match, is that what it is? Because they're fun. But when I downloaded Decor Life, absolutely not. The ads would come up in the middle of your game. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it. And also you had to watch extra ads to get like certain furniture and stuff. So obviously the YouTube playables version is not like that. I think it's better anyway. It's just the fact that it won't load. I think it's kind of a good thing that it doesn't load like that though, because I would be losing so much of my time to playing it because I genuinely think it's that much fun. Like I recently did an antique shop. Oh my God. It's a lot of fun. There's also another game on the YouTube playables section that I saw, but I don't remember what it's called, but it's kind of like that Roblox game where you like dress up the people in clothes. It's fun, but I feel like I've seen every single clothing option at this point. I don't know how many different rounds I've played so far, over 100. Definitely over 100, but I feel like I've seen every single item of clothing at this point, so I'm like, it doesn't seem worth it to keep playing. I really hope YouTube never gets rid of the playable section because I would be actually devastated. I think that's everything I've been into recently though. Oh, I should have talked about the songs that I've been obsessed with. The first one is Sweet Chilli by Name. Name is a C-pop girl group, but they're under manhwa Entertainment. So you would think their songs would be on Spotify, but no. And I think one of the comments of the music video said that Natty from Kiss of Life made the song. It's really, really good. I've been listening to it all month long. And speaking of Natty, speaking of Kiss of Life, I absolutely love their new B-side Igloo. I feel like everyone loves it, but understandably so. My bias is Julie. I just think she is so incredibly talented. I mean, all four of them are very talented, but like Julie just captures my attention every single time. Speaking of women that capture my attention, the Victoria's Secret fashion show came back. I was seriously so excited for it. I grew up watching them, of course, and even when I got older, like I remember specific performances like Bruno Mars. Oh, and Harry Styles. Remember when Harry Styles sang Only Angel at the Victoria's Secret fashion show? That was kind of monumental to me. So I was excited for it to come back. I mean, I literally even had a reminder set on YouTube. I was like, I'm not missing this. I even watched the pink carpet beforehand. And it was really fun seeing Lisa. I'm not a Blackpink fan per se, but I really enjoyed Lisa. I feel like I was like greeting old friends. Like I was like, oh, there's so-and-so, there's this person, there's that person. Like I was like, why do I know all of these models' names? It's funny because on any other day, I feel like I would have something critical and feminist to say about really everything. I mean, beauty standards, marketing to women, etc. But I was just truly so excited for the Victoria's Secret fashion show to come back. Like it just felt like a part of my youth. I just remember smelling like Victoria's Secret Love Spell, the purple one, for like, I don't know, a whole entire year in middle school. I remember when I was in 8th grade, I bought like a little tote bag. It was like a Victoria's Secret pink tote bag to use as my school bag for that year. And I got one of those little dogs. I'd always wanted one. I still have it. It's up on my bookshelf. I have like a core memory of being on eBay searching for lots of Victoria's Secret pink dogs because I wanted one so badly and there were so many different cute ones. Anyway, this is the last of the spreads that I'm making for this video. So now that we're finished, I'm going to go put them all in my journals. I hope it's okay that I did a chattier video today. I love talking like this though. Actually, I was thinking about my video schedule and I'm probably gonna have to have like a whole entire video just of stuff that I read in October, and that will probably be in November. There's just not enough days in the month. Speaking of reading, I actually just got back from the library as I'm recording this, and there were so many people there, and I was like, what's going on at the library? Why is it popping? And it's because of the election. I was like, oh yeah, like people are voting. They don't suddenly care about reading. But they did have a coloring sheet in there that said Happy Halloween, so I grabbed 2. I feel bad. I feel like I'm taking from children, but I was like, what if I mess one up? So I wanted to have 2. To be fair, the coloring sheets aren't specifically for children. I just feel like I'm taking from children. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching today. I hope the video was fun. I feel like I've been forgetting to say this lately, but if you ever have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. I have a Pinterest board that has all of the things that I used in today's spreads. The link to that is in my description box, along with the links to my other social media, as well as the links to my Google Drive folders for my stationery deco kits. I hope that your journalween is still going well and that this video could give you some inspiration. Thank you so much for all of your support. It really does mean the whole entire world to me. I think next time we meet, it'll be Halloween. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!